The One Piece tale isn't losing momentum at all, even though it is the end of the year. We are receiving lore drops at every chapter, and a massive battle royale has been revealed. The hype of this chapter is due to the secret revealed in the previous chapter about devil fruits by Vegapunk that has been making fans curious. According to Vegapunk, the devil's fruit comes from human desire. Egghead has made us crack, yorked us up, hard-boiled us, and scrambled our minds. It's widely known in the fandom that Oda said that the final episode of One Piece would make Marineford look cute. However, at one point, some folks misinterpreted that assertion and started claiming that he had said the episode would make Marineford look attractive, which is incorrect. The admirals play a significant role in this. Before we go on, if you want more content like this on your feed, do subscribe to our channel as it means a lot to us and helps us grow. Now back to the episode. Monkey D. Luffy and Rob Lucci square off again in One Piece chapter 1070. Lucci activates his Devil Fruit Awakening, while Luffy activates his Gear 5. Dr. Vegapunk explains to the Straw Hat that Luffy's Devil Fruit is not the Gum Gum Fruit, but the fabled human fruit, model Nika. The eminent scientist then shares his idea regarding the origins of the devil fruits with them. Dr. Vegapunk believes that the devil fruits are born of hope, like everything else in One Piece. These mythological, power-giving fruits are embodiments of specific people's dreams. However, because the sea despises the strange status that the devil fruits bestow, those fruits reside in a realm apart from the actual wisher. While Dr. Vegapunk is speaking with the Straw Hats, Lucci and Luffy's conflict heats up. Sentomaru comes on the scene when Shaka orders him to protect the Cipher Pole operatives. Sentomaru, however hesitant at first, overcomes the CPO's authority over the Seraphims and orders the robust robots to annihilate Rob Lucci. Lucci, on the other hand, isn't about to back down. He quickly strikes Sentomaru, believing that by doing so, they would reclaim control over the Seraphims. Luffy runs to the Navy officer after witnessing what occurred to Sentomaru. He apologizes to Sentomaru for diverting him, but the former rejects Luffy's allegation immediately. Lucci is also aware of Sentomaru's situation. As a result, the CPO agent begins another assault. This time though, Luffy isn't willing to sit back and watch. Before Lucci can approach Sentomaru, the pirate strikes him with his Dawn Whip. Jinbei and Chopper then take advantage of the situation to recover Atlas. They also make it their goal to notify Luffy of their priorities since the satellite is likely to only survive if quick repairs are supplied. Meanwhile, the Seraphims are having a good time. They are confronting the Cipher Pole agents, winning the approval of Kaku and Stussy. Frankie sees Seraphim's Jinbei's usage of Senor Pink's Devil Fruit abilities. He continues to describe how they are siblings born from separate mothers and begins to cry at the prospect of his demise. Though Senor Pink is imprisoned and impaled down, the scientist proves his existence. The brilliant scientist then shows that he has duplicated Senor Pink's devil fruit power. He further emphasizes that only Zoan devil fruits may be replicated, albeit it is unknown if the artificially generated devil fruits can awaken. Dr. Vegapunk says that Logia types are still challenging to duplicate, and that while Paramythia types cannot be created intentionally, their abilities may be passed on to others via the initial user's bloodline components. Dr. Vegapunk utilizes this finding to develop a new form of blood which powers the Seraphims. The scientist then brags, describing how the Seraphims are the pinnacle of technology and the most potent form of humanity. The Straw Hats discovered why the world government had abolished the Seven Warlord system at that point. At the same time, the struggle between Luffy and Lucci is approaching its conclusion. Luffy continues to fire his amusing assaults, ultimately driving the CPO agents away. They then use the chance to flee. The crew enters the vacuum rocket and is launched into the labo phase with the assistance of Seraphim Hancock. Sentomaru uses this occasion to entirely abandon Dr. Vegapunk in the hands of the Straw Hat pirates. The entire town is locked down when Luffy and the group approach labo phase. It has cancelled all excursions to and from Fabrio phase and increased security. Back in Fabrio phase, troops of Cipher Pole O insult the slain Sentomaru. They advise him to enjoy every minute since he can perform his duties as Dr. Vegapunk's security. Following that, they begin to debate their next course of action. Their formal command is to stay there and await the Navy, yet by doing so, they're giving the Straw Hats more chances to flee the island. The Straw Hats' investigations resume in the lab. Usopp questions the brilliant inventor about why the world government is following him. After all, he is still the man with the best intellect on the planet. Dr. Vegapunk applies the same reasoning to Usopp's query, questioning him about the wisest action to take if the particular prodigy decided to abandon the ship. That is also why Dr. Vegapunk regards the entrance of the Straw Hats as a gift, since they quickly become the transportation out of Egghead. When the Straw Hats hear this, they have conflicting feelings. Frankie is overjoyed to welcome his idol aboard. He is ecstatic to exhibit General Frankie to the brilliant innovator. Nami and Sanji, on the other hand, are more irritated than joyful. The Straw Hats aren't the only ones surprised by Dr. Vegapunk's statement. Jewelry Bonnie desires revenge on Dr. Vegapunk now that she is awake. She believes Dr. Vegapunk is too responsible for the advent of the swarm of bugs, and she intends to assassinate the hapless scientist. CPO has reclaimed control of the Seraphim and Fabrio phase. Lucci instructs the agents not to allow even one ant to depart the island. KIZARU also appears. When the captain learns of Dr. Vegapunk and Luffy's collaboration, he orders all battleships to proceed to Egghead. He's not about to let One Piece's primary pirate gang abandon Egghead that easily. One Piece 1070 was recently released, and this week's chapter was challenging. Fans have already witnessed Luffy and Lucci fight against one another, with Luffy transforming into his Gear 5th form and Lucci displaying his enlightenment for the first time. The battle goes just as anticipated, with Luffy coming out on top most of the time. The fandom saw a significant amount of combat between Luffy and Lucci. At the same time, Vegapunk, the Navy scientist at the heart of this arc, informed audiences a little bit more about devil fruits and how they could be utilized to build other things. Fans understood that although Luffy and Lucci battled in the last chapter, it wasn't the war's conclusion, since neither was done. Fans witnessed the battle resume this week with Luffy still in his Gear 5th form, demonstrating how much he has matured since the end of the Wano Country storyline. Again, Lucci could not hit Luffy even once, which is to be anticipated in a battle between a CPO member and an Emperor of the Sea. In contrast, Luffy could win the duel and hit Lucci with 2 additional devastating attacks. In this chapter, fans witnessed S-Snake utilize the Miro Miro no Mi power, and S-Shark employed a Sui Sui no Mi ability. The Logia varieties are difficult to categorize, and Vegapunk said nothing additional about them, but he had previously taught us a lot about the Seraphims and how they were the most powerful beings on the planet. Fans have previously caught a peek of the Navy headquarters, where Fleet Admiral Sakazuki stated that the Navy should be deployed to Egghead Island immediately and that the CPO should not face the Straw Hat Pirates alone. Then it was revealed that Admiral KIZARU had sailed towards Egghead Island. KIZARU is coming near the island towards the end of this chapter. He sails with a large fleet and intends to assault the Straw Hat Pirates with everything he possesses to assassinate Dr. Vegapunk and halt the Yonko crew. At the same time, Lucci has finally got rid of Sentomaru. This signifies that the CPO now commands the Seraphim. The Straw Hat Pirates appear to be in a peril since they are encircled. It will be fascinating to watch how they resolve this issue, but keep in mind that this crew also possesses a large number of fighters. Nico Robin, Zoro, Sanji, Jinbei, and Luffy are all present. Jewelry Bonnie will also accompany them. Fans might expect something spectacular and action-packed in the future, but they'll have to wait a while for it. Lucci did win because he captured 2 bodies, which was his purpose. He took out Sentomaru. What has Luffy accomplished this far? Nothing. The combat was taken by Luffy, while Lucci won the war. Luffy is a little more advanced than Kaido at this stage, thanks to the Awakening Box. Kaido has more room to develop. He grew that powerful without ever having to awaken, so who knows, maybe the next time we see him he does, but Lucci had the upper hand right then. Yeah, the situation is not favorable for the Straw Hats here just because Lucci now has the control of the Seraphim, who have been targeting CPO in this chapter, but are now going to switch on the Straw Hats. KIZARU is also appearing, so it appears that either KIZARU versus Luffy or Luffy versus Lucci will take place, possibly with the Sour Fence. However, the Seraphims were likely there for the Straw Hats to battle. The final page of the chapter, or the last 2 pages, is, nonetheless, the most underestimated item. The fact that Oda divides up all of the various groups is, I suppose, relatively straightforward, but effective. Almost like a summary of where everyone stands. Seraphims might get the freedom or might get folded. Either one of them is exciting. KIZARU's language is particularly menacing in this last section. It appears that he is getting ready for a full-on assault, as he should be, considering that he is facing an emperor and his entourage. He's bringing up some warships as well. This chapter serves as a sort of setup. It is only informing us of what will occur in the next chapter. I don't think an Egghead Buster call will be made. The island's valuable technology should not be destroyed according to the authorities. That concludes Lucci vs. Luffy. If they do engage in combat again, it will most likely not be during this arc, in my opinion. Because Lucci is still alive and well, I suppose that implies someone else will be facing off against them. However, I doubt it will be Jinbei, so who could it be except Sanji? For all of that, we have to wait for chapter 1071 to drop. Thanks for sticking till the end. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and comment down below what was your favorite part of this episode. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to stay up to date with the One Piece world.